Leadership through governance enhances interpersonal relationships between people in creation of core values in conjunction to equality and equal distribution of resources. On our journey to enabling the future of humanity, Wazitotv brings you leadership and governance. Seven months after Russia launched a military operation in Ukraine, the war doesn't seem to come to an end, but all indications point to an escalation. The Ukrainian people responded vehemently to the invasion, with some of them taking up arms to defend their country. But even this was not enough to deter the Russian troops. A lot of speculations came afterwards to insinuate that NATO was behind the war.
Имея в виду расширение блока НАТО на восток.
Both Russia and Ukraine have accrued huge losses of military equipment and personnel, including the assassinations of Daria Dugina. To aid Ukraine's plight in the war, the NATO imposed sanctions on Russia, but even these weren't enough to make Putin have second thoughts. With Europe heavily dependent on Russian gas, the USA government hasn't been impressed for a long time, and they haven't shied away expressing their displeasure.
You simply want to change the structure of energy dependence. You want to depend more on the North American energy platform, the tremendous bounty of oil and gas that we're finding in North America. You want to have pipelines that don't go through Ukraine and Russia. For years, we've tried to get the Europeans to be interested in different pipeline routes. It's time to do that.
That offers tremendous strategic opportunity for the years to come. But meanwhile, we're determined to do everything we possibly can to make sure that the consequences of all of this are not borne by citizens in our countries, or for that matter, around the world.
The most recent event that may have escalated the war is the Nord Stream 2 pipeline attack. May it have been deliberate sabotage by NATO member? Was it USA government trying to shift the tides of Europe's dependence on Russian gas?
Shut down the Nord Stream 2 pipeline permanently.
This is a real, acute, and proven threat.
Stopping the Nord Stream 2.
And, Trump also isn't wrong to identify Nord Stream 2 as problematic.
There is still time to stop Nord Stream 2 if we act quickly.
The timeline for action is short.
And I'm not going to stop working to halt Nord Stream 2 to stop Russia.
I believe we must stop this Nord Stream 2 pipeline.
Nord Stream 2 is a danger to peace as we know it.
Nord Stream 2 is energy blackmail.
It's Putin's pipeline. It's a trap.
There will be no longer a Nord Stream 2.
We will put an end to it.
The destruction of the Nord Stream pipeline, which I would bet was a U.S. action, perhaps U.S. and Poland. This is
Jeff, we got to stop there. That's quite a statement as well. Why do you feel that was a U.S. action? What evidence do you have of that?
Well, first of all, there's direct radar evidence that U.S. helicopters, military helicopters that are normally based in Gdansk, were circling over this area. We also had the threats from the United States earlier in this year that one way or another, we are going to end Nord Stream. We also have a remarkable statement by Secretary Blinken last Friday in a press conference. He says, this is also a tremendous opportunity. It's a strange way to, it's a strange way to talk if you're worried about the piracy on international infrastructure of vital significance. So I know this runs counter to our narrative. You're not allowed to say these things in the West. But the fact of the matter is, all over the world, when I talk to people, they think the U.S. did it. Just to tell you, and by the way, even reporters on our papers that are involved tell me privately, yeah, well, of course, but it doesn't show up in our media.
Which leaves Germany at crossroads on what actions to take next.
Wazitotv, enabling the future of humanity.